Hey guys, I'm just Jershin. Welcome back to another episode of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus Daily Dose Baby Edition. Yo, today could either be a very pogged run or a very short run. We got a Judas run. Judas, of course, starts with great damage in the Book of Belial, but starts with only 1 HP, which can be minkus. We're going to Mom's Heart. Back with a score of 14,000, which is like decently close to Mom's Heart. And a rank of 4,000, sorry, which tells me it's going to be a pretty good run. I don't see any early deaths happening. Yesterday we finished 171, which is pretty solid. Dude, it's only Wednesday. My sense of... It's a fancy run! What's today, the 23rd? Happy pre-Christmas, I suppose? So we're getting blank card, which is great. And PhD... And how do you not take the soul right off the bat just for survivability if nothing else? Okay, so. Nun's Habit PhD blank card. A younger, more religious me would maybe know what the significance of today's themed daily is. Fortunately, I can't hook you up with that information anymore. Okay, we have blank card. We have blank card strength right now, which is not by any means a bad blank card. Not a bad card to have with blank card. It's nice to have that damage bonus every couple of floors. I'll probably use it in the boss fight. Ooh, you gotta get Humbling Bundle this early. That's great. That's gonna help with consumables a lot over the course of this run. I personally really like Humbling Bundle. I think it's very good. All right. Anything else we want to do on this floor? Probably not. What we're really looking for here, and maybe I should have prioritized second secret room instead of main secret room, is Awaz room. Since we're only going into Mom's Heart, well, actually I changed my mind. Blank card Awaz doesn't do a ton for us, really. Dolly is so good. All right, yeah, this is what some in the business would call a pog start. Blank card Awaz actually doesn't do a ton for us, considering this run goes to Mom's Heart. So a blank card, all we can really be hoping from it that's a big jerk. That's a big jerk. Okay, that's fine. I'm a little upset about how that went down, but we'll get over it. Anyway, we only need 1 Awaz rune to make Shoal happen. And at that point, we're at the mercy of getting a sacrifice room to get any farther. So really, blank card Awaz doesn't do a ton for us. I mean, it maybe gives you some curse rooms every now and again. By curse rooms, I of course mean crawl spaces. Those can be good. Those can be good and or just fine. So it doesn't actually do that much for you. We just got double keys, so let's do some exploration first. Let's finish the floor before we do our deal with the devil, which we will most definitely be getting if I manage to take 3.5 hits. Well, we may just die if I take that many, but also I will retire from Isaac probably, so you don't have to worry too much about that, I would say. Speaking of retiring from Isaac, mapping is good. This one's tough. That one's really tough because while I think mapping is great, why do I feel like we're gonna get the mind, the soul, and the body? All three of them. While the mapping is quite good, the main reason I like it is because it's going to allow us to see our secret and second secret rooms on every single floor, which, as I said, is going to give us the best chance to maybe get an Awaz rune, or at least a good chance. No, it probably is the best chance. I'm trying to think of a way you can, like a room that always has runes, and the second secret room is the only one I can think of, besides just finding like a lucky one in the shop or something. Interesting. So we have 3 red chests. We have PhD, so we definitely want to peep the pills. Puberty can be a health up, so we'll take it. I can see forever, that's secret room access. And Horf is just a bob, so we don't really want that. Let's check the secret rooms. I mean, it's a little bit extra money potentially, so we'll take it. In fact, this might seem a little silly. This is likely gonna seem a little silly, but I'm gonna purposely take damage, get 2 pennies, grab this double set of keys, and open this golden chest. I don't think it's going to really be a tremendous play or anything, but it could have been Guppy's head or something, so I feel like it was worth checking. The knowledge is good to have. Speaking of knowledge, the mapping is also great knowledge to have. It should speed up floors pretty significantly. We can kind of plan our movements a little bit better. Wubworm doesn't really do anything, so I'm not interested. I am interested, though. Papa would love to learn how to fly. Papa would love to. Amelia Earhart do. What? Well, now I'm very mad. Because now we clearly should have rerolled on the last floor. Now we have essentially no excuse not to have rerolled the mind on the last floor and maybe have gotten a better good item instead. Unless every reroll ends up just turning into the mind, the soul, or the body. I don't know. This is a weird... Again, this is probably some sort of Christmas related... He died and 3 days later he rose from the grave. Is that Easter? Do we really, do you want to talk about religion in an Isaac episode? I mean, it's like part of the game for sure, but like maybe probably not. I grew up in a semi-religious household, I would say. I actually liked my growing up situation quite a bit. My dad was fairly religious. My mom was very much not. They're not exactly like polar opposites, but in a lot of ways they were very different from each other, which is good because the last thing I want, you know, your children's minds are very malleable. And I'm very much not a fan of the concept of just like shoving your beliefs down your child's throat to try to make essentially a clone of yourself in your child. I don't dig that very much. So I'm glad that I did not have that situation growing up. Like my dad would bring me to church every now and again. Mostly, he was religious, but like, you may wonder where I get my trademark. I don't think laziness is the right word. I don't think apathy is a good word either. They all have such negative connotation. I'm not gonna say that my dad was religious, but wasn't willing. I mean, Algis is like straight up better. Stars card saves us keys, but Algis is just better. This makes it sound like I'm not trying to say my dad is like a lazy Christian, because for some reason that just sounds like a horrible insult, and I don't mean that. But like, you know, we were Christian. Were we getting in our car to go to church every Sunday? Not often. I remember a couple of times in my life where we got up early on a Sunday morning to go to church, but it was definitely not a regular occurrence. Christmas and Easter, mainly, we would go to. We were like swapping churches constantly. I don't know why. I've never asked my dad about it or anything. I don't know if he was, you know, trying to... There's this thing when you're like, as a child, you kind of just think your parents have it all figured out because they're raising you, and you certainly hope they do. But I think there's a lot of times in life where you go, you know, maybe they're still trying to figure some stuff out too. So I don't know if that was one of those situations where, you know, maybe my dad truly did not know what, you know, portion. Christianity is also strange because they have so many different Lutheran, Catholicism, and Presbyterian, and do I know what the differences are between them? Not really. We didn't really learn that in school, so we bounced around from a couple different ones here and there, but it never stuck to one in particular. So as I got older, I just kind of didn't either. But I think if you grew up in a household where, you know, we go to church on Sundays, this is our church, we know everyone there. Community can be a very important aspect of it, I think you probably stick a little bit more. I had kind of that interesting experience where we were kind of there, but kind of not, and I don't know. Again, I've never talked to my dad about it. That might be an interesting topic of conversation to bring up potentially. Why we never planted our roots at any particular one if we truly were religious. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, you know, I was tertiarily involved. Like I said, my mom was not at all. Very much not into the religious thing. Which, I think is a unique perspective. You kind of, you know, you end up probably, and I would say I am, not just in regards to this, but in many, many ways, you end up kind of a little mix of your parents. Unless your parents are the exact same person, in which case, well, that's not too interesting. You probably end up just not an exact clone. Sometimes maybe you go in the opposite direction. Sometimes, you know, being around the same things too much, you pivot hard in the other direction. That's a possibility as well. I'd like to blow these things up, I think, just to see what we can maybe get. I'd say it paid for itself. I'd say that was a worthy endeavor. I feel strong enough in this run right now that I don't mind doing all this exploring. That's the great thing about a Judas run. Even on a kind of scuffed Judas run like this, where it's not scuffed, but like it's curated. You know, it's a curated daily. It's a strange one. Anyway, I kind of like that. When your parents have differing view styles, you maybe pick up a little bit from one of them, pick up a little bit from the other, and maybe find yourself landing somewhere in the middle. Or if not landing somewhere in the middle, at least getting to make the choice for yourself is something that I would consider quite valuable. There's our Awaz rune, by the way. Right now we're holding on to an Algiz rune. In the meantime, while we're waiting for an Awaz rune, I would love, and I mean freaking love, a Perthrow rune. Give ourselves a 4-charge D6. That seems like it would be rather sick to me. So if Runebag wants to make it happen, let's freaking do it, dude. Let's remember in terms of rushing here, we're really only rushing for boss rush. You can't do Hush Fight. You cannot do the Hush Fight on a run that ends. This guy's shots are sometimes very difficult to dodge, dude. I can't. It melts my brain. What was I saying? We're a little low on HP. I wouldn't deny that. I'd be down to raise that HP. All right. That's a pretty good way to, I would say. That's another decent way to. You know what? It actually gives decent amount of points, so I will take the body. Because each HP container, I'm pretty sure, gives us some marginal amount of points. This feels like a decent rune to use the Algiz rune on. We may get another Algiz rune just from Runebag anyway, so I don't feel too bad doing this. But yeah, Perthrow, I think, would be my... Perthrow would be rather delicious. If we could make a Perthrow rune happen, I think that'd be pretty yummy. Balls of Steel, also fantastic, thank you. All right, let's continue. Ew. Pretty much all I can say about this particular room is a big fat ew. Do not like, would not recommend. Anyway, but I would say like musical taste as well. You know, to get on a topic a little bit. I think we want this actually. I think Blank Card Justice is a nice sweet spot. Guarantees we're getting a bunch of consumables. We have humbling bundles, so we're getting a bunch of points from it as well. Volcano is fine. I'll use it one time. I'll hit him with the one-timer. To get on a topic maybe a little less serious than religion that... I don't know. I feel like the internet has evolved a bit. Crazy to say. Religion used to be one of those topics that's just like, do not touch that with a 10-foot pole. There's probably some element of that still out there. I think it's probably gotten a little bit better, though. I don't know why. Politics has gone in the other direction. That I will not be touching with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, I'd like both of these. I'd like both of these for some sweet stat upgrades. That should leave us right at 1 heart, which, yes, is going to give us some very nice stat upgrades. I think I'd like to reroll this a couple of times as well. Hive Mind could be great if we become Guppy, but obviously we got no guarantee we're going to become Guppy, so... I mean, if you're going to force my hand twice, I'll consider it. If you're gonna force my hand twice, I'll consider it. This, again, just for consumables, I think is very good. Continue to peek here, and that's gonna be the end of it. Okay. I'll buy the Spirit Heart as well, just because. I don't remember what that blue pill was. Maybe I would have gotten it if I knew. Flooded Caves 2. Now, we're strong, but we're still not killing it, I would say, from a speed perspective. Both in terms of stat, which is only 1.0, and also in terms of our time on the clock. We're trying to make boss rush. That's a 20-minute mark. No deal with the devil. We got one. I almost left without cat o' nine tails. That would have been catastrophic. You get it. Anyway, my parents' musical taste was very different as well. My dad listened for sure to some more, I don't think oldies is the right word. Maybe like... His musical taste has changed a lot over time. He goes through phases. Goes through interesting phases. He's gone through like rock phases. He's in a country phase now. What genre would you classify bands like U2 in? Just like casual? Casual sounds like an insult. I don't know what you would describe. Soulful? I don't know. I don't listen to a ton of U2 except for But I Still Haven't Found. I mean, Blank Card Yera, obviously ridiculously good. You can get some good stuff out of this, for sure, I would say. I would say there are for sure some good eats to be gained from doing this. I mean, again, that's just, it doesn't do anything for me at this point, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to say sayonara to it. Blank Card Yera is fun. It's probably not better for us. I mean, it can be. It depends on the room. Like this room, for example, we could start, if I could fly, we could get, I mean, it's blank card with a battery charge in the room, which equals infinite items. So we could do infinite chests in that room if we wanted. Well, we need infinite keys, but, yeah, you know, could be pretty pogged. Thanks very much, appreciate that. Thanks very much. Love my low speed stat. Hagalaz, I think I'll just pop. Which I now realize that maybe I shouldn't have done. I'm out! Okay. Good stuff. Anyway, yeah, we kind of want to speed things up on the next floor, especially because I can't see on this floor. I mean, 5 tiers, 9 damage is very good, but it's similar to another run we had the other day, which is that statistically we're very powerful, but we've got like no secondary damage sources. Even like a cube of meat or something that can just like do a little, or a familiar or something that's doing a little bit of bonus damage besides just like raw stats. Never eat raw stats, by the way, you'll get salmonella. Is that true? I know they always, like, is that one of those things that, like, with modern practices, has that kind of disappeared, getting salmonella from eating raw cookie dough? Because I know that was a big deal, maybe a little bit more, I know, growing up all the time, I was told never to eat raw cookie dough, but it feels like one of those things that maybe as science has advanced a bit, maybe it's less worrisome. I don't know, that could be completely anecdotal as well. So again, if we want to, we can, you know, we can get up to some blank card shenanigans here for sure. Should have left that penny on the ground if we really wanted to get up to some blank card shenanigans. I mean, you definitely want this because now you can really get up to some blank card shenanigans. I think you want this as well because it's an item. I never know. I get it wrong every time. Okay. And of course, no battery charge. Okay, well. That's okay. I'm only giving myself 3 minutes on the next floor, which is, again, as long as we have the means to... As long as we have the means to, like, if we don't have Curse of the Lost on the next floor and I can actually see where we're going, I'm less scared. Because if we need to, we can make a beeline for boss rush. If we want to. We don't have to. We can do it. The speed's gonna help quite a bit. Is that a second Yera rune? It is. Okay, doesn't matter. I know I haven't used blank card Yera rune yet. We're kind of just wasting it. Okay, we can see, which is great. There's a lot of, this is a shame because there's a lot of potentially interesting stuff down here. I wanted to check this just to be sure. You never know who the mini boss is going to be, what you could maybe get from it. That's going to hurt. Would not hurt. Look, I'd love to visit those rooms. There could be some potentially cool stuff in there. At this point in my life, I don't think I can. I think I gotta focus a little bit on speed like Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. Think I gotta focus on just going fast forehead. Boss rush is gonna mean more to us than anything on this particular run, so that's what we're looking for. Obviously, I'm gonna check what's in here. Why, thank you. All I can say to that is why thank you. Why thank you as well for the ability to fly. That seems awesome. All right, so I don't know, again, what this curated daily is from. Maybe I'll go crack open the old Bible later today. Probably not. That was very stupid. You should do this. Oh, wait, I'm also dumb. I mean, does it stack? I don't think so. It might have. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, it is definitely time to go. It is 100% time to go. I do not like that I seemingly accidentally picked up an Eternal Heart. If you give me Krampus, I'm gonna be kind of peeved. Dude, you gotta love a good Godhead run. Who doesn't love a good Godhead run? Thank you to whatever fancy holiday it is today. I'll take this. I mean, I will obviously not take... Does Mom's Knife ruin this run? Nah. It very well might. It very well might ruin the run, but who cares? What is this run? I don't want to pick up either of these. I want my Polaroid invincibility, bruh. It may very well ruin the run. Mostly because homing Mom's Knife just isn't always that good. It seems fine here, though. We've had runs before where Mom's Knife certainly ruins it, and it's a shame because you do lose, like I was just pogging off about actually making Godhead work, and obviously this just removes Godhead from the equation, which is, I mean, the Godhead in the equation now is that the knife, ooh, sometimes it kind of, sometimes the knife kind of goes, ooh, watch it, ooh, sometimes it turns a little bit. It doesn't really do anything for us, which is a shame. Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot. No AWAS runes yet from Runebag, by the way. That's concerning to me. This is gonna get very wild very quickly. I probably should have just used the Dagaz rune because we don't need it. And it being on the ground also doesn't help us at all. Neither does any of these Spirit Hearts. Okay, I think I've changed my mind. Unless this is a Perthrow. It's a blank rune. Oh my god, okay. So in that case, Godhead actually like roasted Mom's Knife. Oh, because that just went away that I was not expecting. Okay. Again, it's... This was a bad decision. This was a horrible choice. This was a bad decision. I will never, ever find that Yara rune again. It's gone. It's actually gone forever. And this was a horrible decision. You know what? Clean me out, Daddy. I know we lose the Yara rune by doing that, but for my own sanity, we needed to clear that out. Hagalaz. Blank card Hagalaz. Another Godhead, eh? It does continue to stack, which I'm appreciative of. What the heck is this run? Do we go to the Void? I don't think you do. You gotta feel pretty good about the chances with Rune Bag of getting an AWAS rune. Right? Right? Don't you feel kind of good about it? I'm feeling kind of good about it. I don't know if you're feeling kind of good about it, but I'm feeling kind of good about it. So like, that's what I'm gonna trust the gut on this one. Excuse me, that was a singular key and not a humbling bundle key? Explain that one to me, science. Did I lose that item? Plan C would also describe as something I am just straight up not interested in. Again, this would have been a fantastic room. Blank card Yera, you just like make a ton of chests. If I would have kept it. There's your AWAS, baby. Okay. Yeah, that would have been a good time to keep it for sure. But you know, I'm not too upset about it. Anyway, you too. Let me jump back to the conversation from 6 minutes ago because that's just kind of how my brain unfortunately works. If you want to know what my general workflow is like, just watch one of these Isaac episodes. Like my boss, if you're watching and you're like, why will you sometimes just randomly message me at like 3 in the morning being like, hey, I finished this. That's because I forgot about it at some point during the day, but remembered it about 2 a.m., got out of bed to go finish doing whatever it was. I don't know why my brain works this way. I hate it a lot, mostly. I'm not a fan, I would say, in general. This is Womb 1, so we don't want to do anything crazy yet. By do anything crazy, I of course mean popping the AWAS rune. We want that on the next floor. Definitely want that on the next floor. I am starting as well to feel like Mom's Knife was the right choice here. It's very strong. Even if it doesn't necessarily synergize with Godhead, maybe in the most fun or exciting way, it's still very strong. So I wish, like, if anything, it just put a little aura around the knife that was also doing damage. You may as well do this so you can at least occasionally have double knives. Knives Out, I haven't seen that movie. Is it a movie, TV show? I don't know. People say it's really good, haven't seen it. This room is scary. This room is a little frightening, but you just take it slowly, you get it done. What were we talking about? U2. That's my dad's musical taste. My mom listens to more like, you know, 80s hair metal, punk, pop, rock, etc. Green Day, Blink 182, My Chemical Romance, those kind of bands. So again, very different styles of music as well. I'm just gonna leave Polydactyl. And I would like to think that my musical taste probably fell somewhere in between the two of them as well. Because of it. There's our trip down to Shoal. That makes me a happy boy. We're gonna get down to Shoal. This is a crazy pog to run, dude. What in the world? We're gonna get down to Shoal, which is exciting. Is it even worth visiting the curse room? I don't freaking know, dude. I don't know, but I also never know. Battery charge. This room is not fun. Thankfully, the piercing shots we get from Mom's Knife kind of help out a little bit. Ansu's pretty worthless for us, considering we have like 7 copies of the Mind. Just kidding, I only picked up 1, but we could have had 7 copies of the Mind by Stephen Hawking. So pretty unnecessary, all things considered. 2 pills. A Pretty Fly is good. Balls of Steel would be good. I think I'm just gonna stick with AWAS. Again, there's no reason to. We've already gotten a successful trip down to the next floor, so doesn't do a ton for me, but until we have something better, like, I mean, even a Perthrow at this point, we're not expecting many items, maybe a deal with the devil on this floor, but we're not expecting many items left over the course of this run, so I don't know that it does a ton for us, but I do think we have a sacrifice room on this floor. We do not. I'm appreciative of that. That means I don't have a choice to make. The choice, of course, is do you go down to Shoal and hope there's a sacrifice room there, or do you take the sacrifice room you got here? I think I've already made it pretty clear where I stand on that particular trade, as we've done it many times. I will go down to Shoal like 99% of the time. Why? I don't know. I haven't done the statistical analysis to tell you if it's the quote-unquote right choice. but it feels like the right choice, then at least anecdotally it's worked out for us pretty well, so that's essentially where I'm coming from. It's a reason I didn't go into statistics or science, although I find both of them rather interesting. Well, here's the thing that's a shame is I didn't find either of them rather interesting. Statistics I did, that's not true. I didn't find science very interesting in school, but now post-school I find it tremendously interesting and wish I would have done something in the sciences. Big rips. Statistics I always enjoyed. Actually, when I was first looking at colleges and considering going to college, I wanted to be a sports statistician. I thought sports statistics were pretty darn cool. Is that the nerdiest sentence I've ever said? Maybe. I mean, it's got the word sports in it, so how nerdy can it be? It's like the nerdiest aspect of sports for sure, but I think they're kind of cool. Some of that Moneyball stuff, you know what I'm talking about? Rotten Baby doesn't really do anything for me, so I think I will pass. We will head down to Shoal. We will cross our fingers. We'll know right away if we have a sacrifice room. Dun, 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 dun. We do not. That's a shame. Okay. So this will be the end of the run, which is fine. It's been a good one. It's a little upsetting that it's over. Sure, Demon's Tail for a little bit of... We're not taking damage anyway, right? So... What's Swallowed Penny really getting for us? Anyway, I wanted to do sports statistics, but the university that I ended up going to, which my choice to go to, was based off of two things. Number one, when I toured their campus, the campus was loaded with squirrels, and I thought that was kind of dope. And the second actual reason that I went there is that they offered me more money. Probably a better one, right? Probably a better reason? Yeah, I would think so. They offered me more money, which I considered pretty pogged up, so. But it's a shame because they didn't have the program that I was originally looking for. Of the two universities I was going for, one of them had a sports statistics program, one did not. I went to the one that didn't, which is a shame. Ended up switching to accounting because it's what they really weren't known for much except for accounting and teaching. And I was like, oh, teachers don't make money. I gotta go into business. The irony of that, of course, is that Maria, who is a teacher, makes more than me, who is in business, but you know. Who cares? It's just money. I mean, I don't really want to take the damage bonus, and I don't see much of a reason to go in here. Because again, like, even if you get a guppy item here, you haven't gotten a single guppy item yet, so that was probably just silly damage to take. That's okay, though. It might lose us a couple spots in the general leaderboards, but I don't think that's really making or breaking it, you know? Got a blank card Yera, so we got one last chance to maybe make some wild things happen here. I guess I'll start by just blank card Yera-ing that and maybe getting a bunch of keys out of it. This clearly would have been a better room to blank card Yera, so big rips there, but it's all right. If we can get a sweet battery charge, again, we can get infinite stuff on a room. I would consider that also to be potentially dope, so if that wants to happen, you know, feel free. Big rips. I know we got another Yera ready to go, so I should probably just head back. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything for us. I mean, the battery charge is nice, but it doesn't do anything for me. So I can go back here. Why did I do that? That was the whole plan. What's the blank card? What'd you do that for? Brain? Well, that was clearly silly, but that's okay. Here's what we'll do to finish this one up, since it looks like it's pretty much the end. We will take this. I will double this one more time, and then I will double it one more time after that. I will grab a whole bunch of keys, which are going to be good for the old score-a-rooney, as you can see, doing pretty well for us on the good old scoreboard there. We'll pick all of those up. Gets pretty marginal after you hit 99, but that's okay. All right, and now we'll go finish the run. Now we'll go finish the run, which has been a good one. Anyway, so why did I go to that university? I think I'll just like tell people that it was because of the squirrels, because now that I dislike what I do, suddenly the squirrels might actually be the better reason for why I chose that university over the other ones. And I oop. Part of it was also laziness, to be honest with you. So I applied for I graduated pretty high in my high school class. I applied for 2 full ride scholarships from these 2 universities. Both of them required an essay, and then at the other school it required an interview portion afterwards as well. As I was gearing up to go to the second school, the one I didn't end up going to, as I was gearing up for that, what do you call it, interview? I got a message from the first school that they accepted my full ride. They gave me the full ride. So I said, who needs to do the other interview? Hindsight's 2020, big rips. Probably should have done the other one because choice is nice in life, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows where I'd be right now if I didn't make that choice? Maybe not even recording Isaac episodes. Who knows? So maybe I'm exactly where I need to be. Scored 32nd, which is very, very good. Didn't we finish next to Spendmaster the other day as well? That name seems familiar. I don't know. 32 is very good, though, and I'm very happy to have been here. Good run, whatever today's holiday is. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider showing some support down below. Liking, commenting, subscribing. All help out a tremendous deal. Share with your grandmother, as always. But with that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.